using IE and EG correctly. I find that sometimes students are unsure about when to use the abbreviation IE and EG and the difference between the two. They are not interchangeable, each has its own meaning and usage. The abbreviation IE stands for id est, which is Latin for that is. The abbreviation EG stands for the Latin phrase exempli gratia, meaning for example. Let's consider a sentence that uses i.e. all employees will receive the standard discount, i.e. 20% because the IDEST mean that is meaning is using i.e. 20%. Define the standard discount and because i.e. 20% form an independence clause, a complete sentence as we technically have created a compound sentence. All employees will receive the standard discount, i.e. 20%. So we use semicolon to use the two independent clauses. Let's consider another one. One meal, i.e. breakfast, is included in the prices of the room. Here, I specify that the breakfast is only meal included. Again, we have created an technically either parenthesis or dashes about the surrounded it. Now let's look the sentence using the EG. Certain fur-bearing mammals, e.g. nutria and otters, spend much of their lives in the water. Unlike IE, which is uses the specify that a particular meaning. EG simplify meaning. For example, style manual vary on punctuation that should used to enclose the EG phrases when it appear in the interior of a sentence. Some state that it should appear only inside parentheses. Other states that commas may uses provided that what follows is as in our last example does not constitute an independent clause. Here another one, there are some herbs that belong in every kitchen garden: basil, rosemary and oregano. Again, there may be other herbs that are equally useful. Those are simply three examples, which is the EG phrases falls at the end of the sentence. You can either enclose in parentheses or set it off with a comma before EG. But as before, if the EG introduce an independent clause, use a semicolon because it is likely you have formed another compound sentences. The following would be an example: the beach closes when the condition warrant it. Ex gratia, exempli ex gratia, a hurricane warning has been issued. The modern American English, a comma should follow both EG and IE, and because they have both become a commonplace, it is necessary to place the abbreviation in italics even though they are abbreviated Latin phrases. Thank you.